Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Welcome. Today, we are uncovering something huge, the hidden laws of reality, specifically the law of creation. Look, if you've ever felt like you're doing absolutely everything right, but you keep hitting this invisible wall, you're in the exact right place. We're going to explore some profound teachings behind how your consciousness literally shapes every single aspect of your reality. So, get ready because we are breaking down the timeless principles that connect human consciousness, abundance, and ultimately profound personal transformation. It's a question that haunts so many of us, right? I mean, why do some people just seem to glide through life? They effortlessly create the careers, the relationships, and the wealth they desire, while the rest of us remain trapped in the exact same struggles year after year. It is incredibly frustrating to feel stuck like that. But I want to validate that feeling for you right now because being stuck, it's not a life sense. No, it's really just a symptom of a hidden system running in the background. So today, we're going to lay out a practical, grounded roadmap out of those repeating negative patterns, drawing directly from some of the absolute most powerful insights on the human mind. All right, Section 1, the illusion of being stuck. To understand why our external circumstances are really just reflections of our internal programming, we've got to look at the two distinct forces operating inside your head. You know, we tend to believe that our external circumstances, our bank balances, our job titles, our living situations, are these fixed realities happening to us. But look at what's actually running the show here. On one side, we have the conscious mind. This is the part of you making logical choices, setting goals. But get this, it only accounts for about 5% of your cognitive activity. Just 5. On the other side is the subconscious mind, which quietly runs a staggering 95% of your brain's operations. It controls your automatic programming, your habits, those deeply ingrained emotions. So while your conscious mind reasons and decides, hey, I'm going to wake up early or eat healthier, your subconscious mind is the one actually hitting the snooze button and reaching for the comfort food before logic can even step in. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about with a little golf analogy. Just picture it. You're getting ready to hit a golf shot. Your conscious mind is doing all the analytical work, right? It takes in the 150-yard distance, it spots the bunker on the left, feels the 20-mile-per-hour wind, and it sets the target. But when it's time to actually swing the club, your subconscious mind takes over. It blindly executes that physical motion based entirely on your past programming. So if your subconscious has a bad slice wired into it, honestly, it doesn't matter how perfectly your conscious mind calculated that wind. That ball is going straight into the trees. Think of the subconscious as your dutiful servant. Like we said, it makes up 95% of who you are, and it operates completely 100% in the present moment. But here's the critical key, so don't miss this. It cannot veto your thoughts, and it does not judge right from wrong. It literally cannot distinguish between a positive focus and a negative one. Your subconscious isn't trying to intentionally sabotage you. It just acts on whatever beliefs, whatever feelings, whatever assumptions you continuously imprint onto it. If you're constantly feeding it feelings of lack and limitation, well, it's just going to dutifully create a reality that matches those exact instructions. Which brings us to Section 2, the echo and the mirror. So how does all this programming actually show up in the physical world? Let's look at what's called echo theory. Have you ever yelled into a huge canyon and heard your voice bounce back a few seconds later? Obviously, right? Well, that is echo theory in action. According to the source material we're looking at, your current physical reality, so the money currently sitting in your bank account, the state of your relationships, the opportunities in front of you, all of that is just an echo. It is simply a delayed projection of the thoughts and beliefs you programmed into your subconscious weeks, months, or maybe even years ago. So, working harder on the echo itself, it's completely useless. You can't change a sound by arguing with its echo. You actually have to change the original sound right at the source. So the crucial point is captured beautifully in this simple little phrase: the mirror can't smile first. The mirror principle completely flips our default human assumption upside down. Normally we think, oh, I'll feel successful when I finally get that promotion, or I'll be happy when I find the perfect relationship. We constantly wait for the outside world to change before we allow ourselves to feel that matching emotion. But think about it. A mirror just reflects whatever stands in front of it. You literally have to smile first, and only then will the mirror reflect the smile back to you. Your internal state absolutely must shift before the external reality can follow suit. And this means creation always flows from the highest plane down. It starts as a thought, which then forms into an idea, which ultimately hardens into a physical result. A massive mistake we all make is looking at an unwanted physical result, like say an empty bank account, and letting that dictate our thoughts. When we do that, we get trapped in this endless negative loop. Our lack creates thoughts of lack, which, you guessed it, just generates more lack. To break that cycle, you have to invert the pattern. You have to start at the top with a brand new thought.
Okay, moving on to section 3, reprogramming your limiting beliefs.
So how do we actually fix this? Because this isn't just mysticism, it is literally hardwired into your biology. Get this. At any given second, there are roughly 11 million bits of sensory information bombarding your nervous system. 11 million. But a little bundle of nerves in your brainstem called the reticular activating system, or the RAS, filters that massive mountain of data down to just 50 bits that you are actually conscious of. 50 out of 11 million. And how does it choose those 50 bits? It selects information that matches your existing beliefs. That is wild. It proves that we literally only see the reality we are programmed to believe in. So if you're programmed to believe opportunities are scarce, your brain will quite literally delete the opportunities sitting right in front of your face. So before you start dreaming up a whole new future, you really need to know what is currently running your filter. Our sources suggest a brilliant, super practical experiment for this, the 24-hour belief audit. Because look, jumping straight to vision boards without checking your current beliefs first, that's like installing brand new software on a computer that is just full of viruses. Eventually, the malware is going to corrupt it. So for just one day, practice catching your default automatic thoughts around money, your identity, or your relationships. Once you catch one of those limiting thoughts, define a new instruction, and then deliberately shift your attention to look for evidence that actually validates this new reality. Now, the real secret to giving your brain a new instruction is gentle phrasing. It shouldn't feel like some delusional lie. For example, if your old filter is money is hard to make, you don't want to suddenly force yourself to affirm, I am a billionaire. Why? Because your subconscious will instantly reject it as a total lie. Instead, the new instruction should be something much gentler, like money flows to me in ways I am learning to recognize. Do you see the difference there? It opens your mind to possibility. It gives your reticular activating system a believable new target to actually start searching for in your environment. All right, let's head into section 4, thinking from the end. Once you finally clear out that malware, you can utilize the true, staggering power of human imagination, an idea heavily influenced by the teachings of Neville Goddard. We've all been taught that imagination is just passive daydreaming, right? Like a fun little escape from the real world. But the material emphasizes something much deeper. Imagination is actually the fundamental creative force of the universe itself. Seriously, look around you right now. The chair you're sitting on, the screen you're watching this on, the building you're in. Every single physical thing started as an invisible image inside someone's mind first. Someone had to imagine it before it could ever exist in matter. So why would the circumstances of your life be any different? Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the massive distinction between thinking of the end and thinking from the end. Thinking of the end is looking at your desire from a distance and saying, oh man, I hope I get that one day. You are mentally placing the desire way out in the future, which unfortunately locks you right into the identity of someone who currently lacks it. Thinking from the end is completely different. It's mentally teleporting yourself into the version of you who already has the desire. You are fully inhabiting that identity right now in the present and asking, okay, from this place of already having it, how do I act, how do I feel? It is a total shift in your state of being. But hey, let's make sure we keep our feet firmly on the ground here. This brings us to the law of action. We absolutely must avoid the lazy manifestation trap. Because no, you cannot just sit on your couch, visualize a shiny red Ferrari in your driveway, and expect it to magically materialize without lifting a single finger. As nice as that would be. The universe requires kinetic energy. You actually have to participate in order to shift probability. So yes, action is 100% required, but here is the magic formula. You let your new, elevated internal state naturally drive inspired physical action in the real world. Your actions basically become the physical signals that you are sending out to the quantum field. And when you combine all of this, a reprogrammed subconscious, an imagination that is actively thinking from the end, and inspired action, you realize a truly profound truth. As the sources so beautifully state, the universe doesn't watch you, it waits for you to see it into being. I love that. You are not just some victim of random chance drifting aimlessly through an unyielding world. No way. You are the deliberate architect of your own experience. The energy, the frequency, and the expectations you emit are quite literally instructing reality on how to organize itself around you. So I want to leave you with a challenge today, something you can apply literally the second this is over. Tonight, when you lie down in bed and close your eyes, you have a choice to make. Are you going to replay the exact same worries, the same frustrations, and that same old character you've always been? Or will you boldly choose a new character? Will you drift off to sleep fully inhabiting the feeling of the person who already has exactly what you desire? Because the law of creation is always working. The only question is, what are you going to command it to build next? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.